Hello, nerds! Thank you for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Week in Nerdom TV edition for the week of March 12th, 2018. This week in TV news, we're talking about some new Black Mirror, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all kinds of X-Files to catch up on. So much is going on television stuff. Let's hit that intro real quick.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally nerdy.
Before we jump into the news, guys, we have to hit up the sponsor. This week, every episode is being sponsored by the General Lee Nerdy shirt over on punishshirt.com. Looks a little something like this. You can go buy one if you so desire. It is $20 approximately, just short. Or you can enter to win one. How do you enter to win one? Well, there are 4 different ways to enter. First, subscribe to the YouTube channel and then leave a comment on one of the videos that it has something to do with the contest. In order to enter, just let me know, hey, free t-shirt, say something about the shirt in your comment, or you can message me directly on YouTube if you don't want to make a public comment. That is totally fine. You can also follow me on Facebook. Facebook.com/generallynerdy is where you can do that. Once you have followed me on Facebook, then again, comment on one of the posts that has something to do with the contest, or send me a direct message. It's totally fine if you want to keep your stuff private. That is the second way to enter the contest. The third way is Instagram, instagram.com/generallynerdy or @generallynerdy if you are already on the platform, or if you're one of those crazy smart kids with the smartphones. Follow me on Instagram, send me a direct message letting me know that you have done so, or comment on a post that has to do with the contest, post where I mention the contest in the post description. And then the final way to enter the contest is to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/generally_nerdy or @generally_nerdy is where you can do that. Once you have done that, then again, reply to one of the posts about the contest or send me a direct message. And with any one of these ways to enter, instead of sending me a message through that platform, you can always send me an email, Dustin@generallynerdy. In order to enter that way, though, you must include a screenshot of the platform on which you have subscribed or followed. If you have multiple platforms that you subscribed and followed and you're entering through email, then you have to include multiple screenshots. In order to win, you must be a U.S. resident. All of the contest rules are in the description, but good luck. Again, we are giving away 2 of these shirts, and the contest will be done April 2nd at noon. So you have until April 2nd to get all 4 of your contest entries in. We already have multiple people entered, so your chances are growing slim as the days go by. Thank you guys, and now let's jump into the news. First up for TV news is Black Mirror. Just got the announcement that they are signed on for a 5th season, and thank God for Netflix, because it's going to be another season of, I believe it was 6 episodes? Yes, another 6 episodes for season 5. No release date for that yet. Likely it will be next year. Hopefully, I guess, is more appropriate. It will be next year. But we don't know that for certain. With the way things have been going recently, though, I wouldn't be surprised if it gets held off until 2020. So, going to be definitely, as soon as we find out more news, I'm going to communicate that with you. Moving along, though, we are talking about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is the new Nickelodeon series that we talked about a few weeks ago. They have released the artwork for Baron Draxum, who is going to be the primary antagonist for this series, who is also going to be voiced by John Cena. So, what do you think of that? Yeah, I feel like, so Draxum's brief description is he's a mutant who wants to mutate all of humanity, and I feel like there were a few schemes by the Shredder that sounded like that, and then Krang, I feel like at some point wanted to do something along the same lines, and that's why Baxter Stockton was a thing, and so they're gonna turn the whole series into a few episodes from the original 80s cartoon. But it's not to say that's not a good enough motivation to drive a series. I just find it interesting that they're borrowing from themselves, but whatever. That's where we got to end that one, because that was the only news, is Baron Draxum and John Cena. John Cena is everywhere these days. Have you noticed this? Like, he's becoming Steve Buscemi. He's like literally all over the place, and you don't know why. Although Steve Buscemi, most of you probably don't know his name, because he's one of those guys where it's like, oh look, it's that guy. I've seen him in like every Adam Sandler movie and Armageddon and random stuff all over the place. Boardwalk Empire. Steve Buscemi is the white Samuel L. Jackson. If you look at his IMDb list, his filmography on IMDb or Wikipedia, it's like as long as your arm. And same thing with Samuel L. Jackson. They're literally in everything. But yeah, so we're moving along. I spent way too much time talking about John Cena and Steve Buscemi. Next up, we are talking X-Files, and we'll do the reaction to the last episode, and then we'll talk about the other bits after that. So the last episode, again, it feels like they were borrowing. This was kind of a Monster of the Week episode. It definitely wasn't a joke episode. It was really freaking creepy, which kind of had the effect of the first season of Channel Zero. Very much had the effect of the first season of Channel Zero, because they used the children's TV show characters as they were like golems, kind of. It was, I don't know, I felt like I was watching Channel Zero and not the X-Files, so that kind of removed me from it. This was not one of the stronger episodes from this season. So yeah, I mean, if you missed it, I don't feel like you need to catch back up on it. You can catch the last two episodes and not have missed anything. And so then we got two trailers. One is specifically for the next episode, which is called Nothing Lasts Forever. And then the other one is for the last two episodes, and the very last episode is My Struggle 3, I believe. It looks like we're going to get a lot more with Mulder and Scully's kid. And next week's episode looks like it might be a little bit of another Monster of the Week episode, but also a mythology episode, so they're kind of crossing up their formula a little bit, which is good. It's changed. Let's always keep it fresh, right? But this is potentially the second to last episode ever, so I feel like hopefully it's going to be more mythology than Monster of the Week, but we don't know. Definitely going to be some gory bits, some pushing the envelope stuff. I'm super looking forward to them trying to get away with as much as possible. And yeah, what do you guys think? Links to both trailers are in the description, so watch them. Let's go talk about them. Next on the list, we're talking about the Librarians. I tried to interview one of their stars last year at Starfest, and it didn't really work out. He didn't take any interviews, so I didn't get snuffed. He just didn't take any interviews while he was there. But they got canceled this week on TNT, so their executive producer, Dean Devlin, is trying to shop the show around to other channels. I feel like it has strong potential to get picked up by Sci-Fi. I don't know anything. I'm just totally throwing stuff out there and seeing what sticks. But I feel the style of this show seems that it would fit very well in the oeuvre of the Sci-Fi channel. So I would not be surprised, though, to see it on one of these new streaming upstarts that's trying to capitalize on existing fan bases. So really, it's not that it's going to be canceled forever. I really don't think that's going to happen. I feel confident that they will get picked up somewhere, and we potentially won't even miss a season. Though at most we will miss just one season. So there is that. Kicking on down the road, we're talking about a trailer for the next season of Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix. I seriously binge watched the entire first season in an afternoon because they're only half-hour episodes, and it started out a little shaky, but it definitely picked up about episode and a half or 2 episodes roughly into the first season, which there were only like 6 or 8 episodes, so that's close to half the season, at least a quarter of the season. Because like it just felt weird because Drew Barrymore is a better actor than that. So before she becomes the zombie, because spoiler alert, she becomes a zombie. It's in the freaking ad, so I'm not ruining anything. But when she was still alive, I almost didn't finish watching the season just because I didn't care about anything she was doing on screen. She was not showing her full potential. Then she becomes undead, and I start busting a gut laughing. So if you are into funny zombie stuff, or zombie stuff in general, this is a very unique take on the funny zombie genre, or zombies again in general. So give it a shot because it's pretty freaking funny. We see in the trailer for this season 2, we see the return of Nathan Fillion, so that's always good, and in very humorous Santa Clarita zombie style. So again, freaking hilarious. It looks like the disease is going to be spreading, and they're going to try and figure out how to stop it. And yeah, definitely watch the trailer. Watch season 1. No release date for season 2 just yet, though I can't imagine it takes them very long to film this, so we'll very likely see it next year. Next on the list of news, we're talking Star Wars, because we pretty much talk Star Wars every week on at least one of the episodes, right? Star Wars, it was just announced that Jon Favreau, the guy who gave us probably one of the best freaking superhero movies, 2 of the best superhero movies ever, one of the Avengers movies and the first Iron Man movie, second Iron Man movie as well, I believe. Anyway, irrelevant. Jon Favreau is going to write and produce, so very likely he will be considered the showrunner for a live-action Star Wars series on the Disney streaming app. We knew it was coming, and now we know it's going to be helmed by Jon Favreau, who in this age of nerdiness and this age of awesome cinema as far as popcorn fodder, there's not a whole lot of depth to today's cinema, but a whole lot of popcorn fodder. Favreau's gonna fit right in with this. I believe this is the first time he's done a television show. He's written and produced, and so or showran or anything, a television show. So it'll be interesting to see how that gets attacked. But being as it's from Disney, I bet his budget is a little higher than most. So we're gonna see some really cool stuff coming out of this. No release on what the show is going to be called, no release on when we're going to see it, but we know that the Disney streaming app will very likely be out by the end of this year, so hopefully they will start filming soon enough that we can get a couple of episodes in once the app is released. Who knows? We're going to keep our eyes open for that one, and we're moving on to the next bit, which is another trailer on Netflix. This is Lost in Space. Now, this technically, they released a teaser trailer a week or 2 ago, and I didn't bring it up because it didn't seem like something that I felt was going to pick up. Judging by this new trailer, though, link in the description, this very potentially, it looks great. It's easily going to be better than the movie, because that's not a very high bar to clear, but Could be even better than expected beyond that. They are changing some of their established lore. The robot, the Danger Will Robinson, first day with the new lips, apparently. that robot, though, Danger Will Robinson, is not going to be made by the family. It's going to be, they found it on the planet, and the entire season, apparently, is going to take place on one planet. So, it's, yeah, pretty interesting. I'm digging it. And it also looks like their big villain that stows away, I feel like it looks like they're keeping that element. They're just changing the villain, which is also going to be very interesting. So, we'll give it a couple episodes. If it doesn't pick up by episode 3, I'm probably not going to finish the season, but yeah, let's do Lost in Space. And then our last bit of news this week has to do with Gotham. Fox's Gotham is a big train wreck. Really, it is. I caught up this week with Gotham just because Joker's slightly more important to me than Flash. So instead of catching up on the Flash, which I feel like now I probably should have, I caught up on Gotham. Yeah. So I read an interview with Cameron Monaghan and with CBR.com, and he said something interesting. He was talking about Jerome and how he is, for all intents and purposes, proto-Joker. He's effectively the Joker for the series right now. And he says, ultimately, he has the key concepts and key traits, but he doesn't have to be singular within our canon. That's what's funny about him. He is the foundation on which the other thing is now built on top of. So he's kind of given us that whole, he doesn't have to be singular. Speaking of the Joker, he doesn't have to be, and he's kind of not super specific, because the first line where he says he has the key concepts and key traits, that's Jerome, and then he doesn't have to be singular, that's the Joker, in the context of this interview. So, very interesting. Maybe we're not gonna get a proper green-haired Joker? I don't know. This is the enigma of this show. Like, I really don't want to care because it's not very good. Like, I remembered from the first 2 seasons that I did watch, I remembered that it was super campy and cheesy as far as dramas go, but catching up to current, it was even more over the top than I remembered. And like I said last week when we talked about this, Moynihan on Shameless does fantastically, even though, again, his accent comes and goes. But on Gotham, like, he's doing this weird, like, Ledger-esque thing with Jerome, and I don't know, it's not working for me. I'm probably gonna watch episodes until we actually get to the end of this season, because if we don't have Joker by the end of this season, I really don't see how they can stick around. I feel like they did get signed on for another season, though, so I don't know. It hurts my heart to see this happen. But that, guys, is where we have to end this week's episode. What did I miss? What should we talk about next week? Let me know in the comments down below. If, though, you want to go deeper into the conversation, jump over to the website, generallynerdy.net. Tell me how wrong I am about Gotham. Please, let's have that conversation. You can find all the social media links up on the website, though. You can find the links to the stores so you can get the other shirts, besides just the sponsored shirt for the week. But, yeah, definitely, I'm still stuck on this Gotham thing. If you want to support the channel directly, jump over to the Patreon page, patreon.com/generallynerdy. You can do that. You can jump on for just $1 a month, and that really goes a long way, guys. So again, Generally Nerdy on Patreon is patreon.com/generallynerdy. If you are running behind on your nerd news and you want to catch up, click or tap that box right there to the left of my face to do that. But before you go, please guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.